Good afternoon. This is Joyce Cooper of Enlightened Teaching for You. I am here today to introduce you to Enlightened Teaching Elevating Through Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. I want to begin this introduction with a quote from one of my favorite parenting experts, Dr. Shefali Tisbari. Dr. Tisbari is the author of The Conscious Parent, Transforming Ourselves, Empowering Our Children. And this quote is taken from that book. Dr. Shefali says, and I quote, "Only to the degree we as parents are attuned to our own being will we know how to help our children attune themselves to their unique essence." The reason why this quote is very important and is included in Enlightened Teaching for You, Elevating Through Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs, is because the basic philosophy of enlightened teaching is that students are spiritual beings who were created to reach self-actualization. I would now like to read an excerpt from Enlightened Teaching, Elevating Through Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. And I read the excerpt. Early discipline practices are another set of building blocks in the development of early minds. Disciplining children from a place of love communicates a message that does not lead to broken spirits. Stern discipline should only be used to communicate correction in behaviors that pose an imminent threat to self and society. Disciplining curiosity of the environment with sternness communicates messages that lead to fear, shame, and guilt. Early foundations shape our emotional and spiritual states that follow us through life. Caregiving at the primary state determines how well our children maintain their knowingness of the divine. Maintaining knowingness of the divine is extremely important if students are going to reach self-actualization. I am recalling at this moment a situation that I encountered with a student who's a new parent. He spoke of his child with such love and affection and ended with, "But he's bad, Mrs. Cooper." And I asked my student what type of behaviors his son was displaying that would consider him bad. And he described his son reaching, pulling hair, pulling clothes, and pulling at the face. So I explained to my student that his son is in a developmental phase and he's not exactly sure what to do with his hands. I asked my student to consider giving his son a rattle, a book, or some toy and teaching him exactly what he should be doing with his hands at this particular phase. That disciplining him by hitting him only reinforces the action and behaviors that he is trying to correct. Teaching and parenting are very similar roles in life. Parenting and teaching require the adults to be attuned to who they are so they can be attuned to who their children are. Adults being attuned to ourselves mean that we're going to recognize the divine in our children and that we will foster that divinity at all times. Teaching is the only profession that does not prepare you for the spiritual, emotional, psychological, and cognitive demands that it places on the adults who are in a caregiver role and who are educating our future minds. Enlightened Teaching, Elevating Through Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs was written with that in mind. What I tried to do in this book was to bring together the philosophies that teachers are introduced to in school in a practical way that would help them assist students in reaching self-actualization by leading them to a higher place of consciousness. Enlightened Teaching has several different philosophies mentioned in this book or theories mentioned in this book that we will explore in future videos. I would like to invite you to visit my website, www.enlighthed4you.com, to help you prepare for students. As you get ready for your classrooms, we need to also get ready spiritually, mentally, and emotionally to take care of them. And there's a blog post with 5 things you can do in your morning routine to help you prepare for students. This is Joyce Cooper with Enlightened Teaching for You. I am here to support you in any way that I can to help you develop the mind to reach self-actualization. God bless and namaste.